here, just done another big cook up for my little man Eli, 9 months old, and just going to run through very quickly what I've done. There's probably 2 weeks worth of food here that we're going to portion up and freeze, and I've had a few people asking what I make and how I make it, so I just thought I'd shoot this very quickly for you and go over it. Here we go. Here's the spread for the next couple of weeks, and we can start here with some nice fresh beetroot. You can have a look at the vibrancy. When I'm shopping for food for Eli, I really just go for the rainbow, and I just look for all the colours. Nature will always tell us exactly what we need, and that's why these foods grow with these particular colours. So we've got, these reds are full of lycopene, great antioxidants, and the greens and the yellows and the oranges. Just shop the rainbow. It's the easiest way to do it. If you're not right 100% into your nutrition, just get every colour in the rainbow. So that's just some pure beetroot. I don't mix that with anything else. And it goes on the side of, every sort of third meal or the like. It's fairly sweet. This is green mix number 1. And in here we have peas and beans and broccoli. And most of these dishes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these dishes have loads of fat in them. So I use coconut oil predominantly. So 2/3 of them I put coconut oil in. Or in the other ones I will use an organic unsalted butter, and the fats are really, really, really important. So even when we give a bit of yogurt with breakfast, of course we use organic or biodynamic yogurt, and never the light, always full fat. It's really critical for development, especially of cells and the brain and the nervous system. So make sure you put loads of fats in your foods for your babies. Breast milk, I believe breast milk's about 50 or 60% fat, so it's really healthy, really good for us. So that's that mix there, and it's delicious. All right, let's have a look over here. This one is the Supergreens mix. This is kale with bok choy, and I've put about half a pear in that mix, and I've also put a tiny bit of lemon juice in there. So these dark greens are really great for iron, and the vitamin C in the lemon juice will really help the system absorb that. And on top of that, I've sprinkled, fairly generous because he's used to the flavour now, turmeric and cinnamon, and also in the blueberries as well, we have some natural anti-inflammatories which really help with the teething. So turmeric's a bit of a wonder spice, and that's what's in that mix there. I'm going to stir that all in just before I dish it all up. All right, coming on over here, this is one of the staples in our house, sweet potato. We have it all the time. It's fantastic for them. I don't use regular potatoes. He's not ready and not able to process the starches in that, but sweet potato's fine. Again, this one's really laced with coconut oil, and I've also got cauliflower in this mix, so I just boil it all up and whizzed it up. This is one of my favourites. In this one we have pumpkin with cinnamon and more cauliflower in there as well. Pumpkin and cinnamon and cauli, and it's a delicious mix, really nice and sweet. I've used a nice Jap pumpkin, but sometimes I use butternut, whatever's in season. Okay, let's move on. This is the brown sludge, but it is delicious. This is lentils, and I use green large whole lentils and mix them up, and then I cook them with just a couple of carrots in the mix. Now, lentils are really good, really full of iron, full of protein as well. If we want a complete protein with lentils, we have to mix them with rice for adults. But Eli at 9 months old won't be eating any rice, so those rice cereals like Farex and the like, they are absolutely out. Never feed him Farex. There's never rice or wheat or any of those glutens. Can't process it. System can't process it. No matter what they say and how much they promote it in the shops, that stuff's really, really bad for them, and it inflames the gut. They can't really have that until things like rice until about 14 or 15 months, or when the molars come in, and that's when they can process it. The amylase, or the enzyme that digests it, is produced by their body. Until then, it's not produced. So they're the foods. You can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I usually put 2 or 3 different flavours per meal. So we just alternate them and mix them up. So he's always got something a little bit different. And this is dessert. This is apple and pear and cinnamon and blueberries. Again, cinnamon and blueberries, full of antioxidants, natural anti-inflammatories. I use blueberries myself. If I've got a muscular injury, a punnet of blueberries for me is equivalent to about 2 Nurofen. So it's just fantastic. And what I've done here in this jar is I've kept the cooking water from the apple pear cinnamon mix. I've kept that cooking water because for breakfast, if I make him a porridge just with oatmeal or quinoa, then I'll actually use this cooking water, which has got a lot of the nutrients from the fruit still in it to flavour up the porridge. Oh, I almost forgot, I also have chia seeds mixed throughout that. Another good protein hit, so the proteins are really good for him right now. And just over here I've got some these are just some raw carrot sticks, and I'm going to freeze those and give them to him as snacks. So we don't want to give babies raw carrot sticks as they are, because they can break off little bits. Once they freeze though, and they thaw out as they're kind of chewing on them and gumming at them, they get really stringy and it's hard for them to bite bits off, so it's actually quite safe. Of course, we supervise Eli 100% when he's chewing on those, but he loves them when he's teething. It really helps his gums and he can pick them up. So raw carrot sticks, they'll go straight in the freezer, and he'll chew on those with his dinner. And so that's pretty much it, guys. And what I've done over here is I just keep all of the jars, and we don't eat processed foods in this house, or we only eat them very, very rarely, so it took us forever to accumulate these jars. In fact, I had to buy a few, but all I'll do is jar them all up, and I'll put 3 in the fridge for tomorrow, and the rest will go in the freezer, and each night I just pull out the 3 for the next week. So this is probably $40 or $50 worth of food, all fantastic fresh produce, organic whenever I can buy it, and that's gonna feed him for probably 2 weeks. All right, guys, trust you enjoyed that, and shoot through any questions if you have them. I'll do my best. Oh, and there's Ronnie over there. He says g'day. All right, bye. Well, here are the jars, all portioned up. That's what have we got, about 16 jars there. So that's lunches and dinners for the next 8 days at least. And you can see I've got a lot more left over there still. So that's going to go in their own separate containers, just in the freezer. And as I was portioning this out, I just basically went up and down. So the sweet potato went up and down 2 rows, and the pumpkin went up and down 2 rows. So when the sweet tasting foods, I went up and down, and the savouries like the greens, you can see the greens changed 2 rows across, and then the top 2 rows I've got different greens, and I just portioned it out something like that. And then the jars look fantastic. I mean, look at all those colours and all those nutrients in there. So that's pretty much it, guys, and I hope you enjoy, and I trust you got some great value from it.